Welcome to Platform. My name is Erin Gensler, and I'm the Assistant Chair of the Architecture Program in Los Angeles. We are so excited to have you join us tonight from whatever corner of the digital landscape you hail. The past year, as we know, has been one of unforeseen challenges, catalyzing rapid reinvention. Platform is no exception to today's moment of undaunting adaptation, and thus we are thrilled to host our first virtual platform tonight. Though we cannot be together now, as we have been in the past and will be again in the future for Platform, I've never been more appreciative of the participation and the testament to resilience of this community that each of the schools and presenters represent tonight. Platform was founded 4 years ago by the Woodbury Chair of Architecture in Los Angeles, Heather Flood, and was created as a new and collaborative opportunity to recognize and celebrate incredible work happening throughout art, media, and design programs in our state's community colleges. What started as a symposium would eventually transition into an annual exhibit at WUHO, our Woodbury Gallery in Hollywood. This history makes clear that when you have the opportunity to see this collection of incredible work from disparate cauldrons of creative development, it deserves a platform for cross-pollination of ideas. When looking at ways of hosting Platform this year, we considered creating a virtual gallery, but knew such a venue would be bereft of the thing that makes Platform so dynamic, the people. Beyond the celebration of the work, what we hope Platform does tonight, as it has done in the past, is create a space of interpersonal exchange. Platform has taken many forms in the past, and tonight will be no exception. This year's installment comes in the form of a virtual Pecha Kucha night, or Pecha Kucha. If you are new to this format of presentation, the rules are simple. Each presentation is exactly 6 minutes and 40 seconds, 20 slides, 20 seconds each, firing off like a creative machine gun. The slides move so rapidly and automatically, it's part of the fun and drama of challenging the presenter to do the same. Even this introduction is part of that format. Tonight, we have 13 presentations from 11 community colleges spanning the geographic and disciplinary diversity of Southern California. From the moment I started working with instructors and institutions—
Erin, I'm getting a feedback loop. I don't know if anybody else is.
No.
I'm going to keep going because the time's going. From the moment I started working with the instructors and institutions to make tonight happen, I have the privilege to witness the collaborative power of visionary administrators, dedicated faculty, and intellectually voracious students that make events like Platform successful and possible. Before we dive into the incredible work you'll see tonight, I wanted to introduce you to the team at Woodbury that makes this possible. Ingela, take it away.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for everybody for joining us. I want to thank Heather Flood and Assistant Chair Erin Gensler for your masterful coordination of our fourth Platform exhibition. This is about the students. What I saw in the slide deck was an incredible range of work, technical abilities, passion from each student. Tonight is a celebration of your work, a celebration of the community colleges represented here tonight. You are truly an engine for good. You are showing us a path forward. Next.
Really quick, this is Jose Corral, from Chair of Architecture Program in San Diego. Thank you, Erin, for putting this together.
Hello, my name is Lara Hode, and I'm the Interim Chair of Interior Design at Woodbury School of Architecture. Thank you, a huge thank you to Aaron for putting together this most original and fun way of hosting Platform this year. I'm a huge fan of Pecha Kucha, and I'm extremely excited to see all the presentations this evening.
I'm Mark Erickson. I'm the chair of the Applied Computer Science Media Arts program at Woodbury. We offer a lot of programming courses and so forth to the architecture students and interior design students. We have a lot minoring in our program. And I thank Erin for putting this wonderful show together tonight.
Good evening. I'm Kishani De Silva, the interim chair of sustainability programs within the School of Architecture here at Woodbury University. The programs we are launching are Sustainable Practices in Construction Management, which we will be launching in the fall of 2021. So watch this space, and thanks, Erin, for all your hard work on this.
Hey, sorry, Aaron. Sorry for cutting in there. My name is Justin Stottle. I'm the admissions counselor for Woodbury School of Architecture in Burbank. And also joining us is Janet Ascension, who's here for San Diego. And then also Marina Seiss is for international students. Just a quick reminders that we have our portfolio workshop on February 20th. Please sign up for that. And then also there's a California scholarship grant that's deadline is coming up on March 15th. All of that is on the details of the YouTube down at the details page if you just click on the links. Thank you. I had a few extra seconds because I was doing some announcements, but yeah, you can feel free to reach out to us. Check out our page for our contact information.
Heather, we went by your slide really quickly. Would you like to say hello?
I'm Heather. Thank you for joining us. It's wonderful to see everybody. Welcome.
Again, thank you all so much for joining us tonight, and a huge thank you to the administrators, faculty, and students who have made tonight possible with their tireless quest for design excellence in education. I'm so excited to get tonight started with incredible work presented by students and faculty from institutions across California. Tonight, our first presentation will be by College of the Canyons, and this will be presented by Alexander Golden, Danielle Penguia, and Christian Phillip.
Can you guys hear me now?
All right.
Yes.
Wow. So I'm so sorry. I don't know why it just changed. So anyways, yeah, hey guys. So this is the Alexander Road Estate standalone apartment. Right now, you just saw the walkthrough. The first slide you saw was Marcel Brewer's chair. I made a really bad joke about how he designed in 1925, 1926. I modeled it last semester, taught by Orlando Flores. Here's the final model with all the entourage. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm very sorry about the technical difficulties. Thank you for the comments too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is my interior rendering of the final project for our introductory course of BIM, specifically using Revit. So here I decided to add just enough components to give a potential client a good idea of what the space can look like if they were to occupy it. However, I also made sure that the image was not too overcrowded. And now in this next image, the top center, we have the site of the building, which has a topography with varying elevations. At the bottom, we have the 6 wall types, which are all used in different parts of the building and for different purposes. Then there are the 2 furniture plans that show how 2 habitable levels are laid out. I really like how the bottom level has the kitchen and living room, while the top one has all the bedrooms, which really allows all the occupants to have some privacy. Here we have a better look at the overall building, which consists of a basement, 2 habitable levels, and a roof with a parapet. An important element of this building is the staircase, which we were able to really alter the design of by customizing the handrails, balusters, stringers, and treads. I placed this image on the left to show how the use of cameras can really make certain views more interesting to look at. In this case, resulting in a 3D floor plan. We also looked at different ways which we can display materials. On the right side, we use fill regions, while on the left, we played around with splitting faces and applying paint. Now we finish with an exterior rendering of the northern part of the building. An integral part of every building is how light enters it. Here we can see how the clever placement of small windows allows light into the staircase. And one of my favorite things about this building is also the implementation of a storefront, which you can see on level 1.
Hi, my name is Christian Phillip. I'm an architecture major, and I'll be presenting the project I completed in the design for class at College of the Canyons. We were given a fictional site in downtown Los Angeles that had an existing 4-foot dock between a warehouse and a coffee shop. The program included a Warby Parker store, library, outdoor seating for the adjacent coffee shop, and our interpretation of the Spanish Steps. For my concept, I decided to lower the roof line closer to the height of the adjacent buildings in order to have my buildings fit in more harmoniously. I placed the entrance of the Warby Parker store at the east opening of the facade and kept the cafe seating right off the exit of the cafe. The mezzanine has the library, the continuation of Warby Parker, and the stairs leading to the public seating area. The second floor contains the remainder of Warby Parker and a terrace, as well as the exit for the public seating area. For the facade, I wanted to use materials that blended in with the environment, but chose to break it up sporadically in order to allow light into the space beyond, as well as allow for people to get a glimpse of the Spanish stair. This was imperative since the steps were intended to be used as a public space by the community, and so I did not want them to appear hidden behind a solid wall. On the left is an exploded view of the different parts of my building and the different materials I envisioned. And on the right is a rendering looking toward the Spanish Steps from the cafe seating area. This is a section viewed so you can get a better idea of the library space under the Spanish Steps. This is another rendering from the Warby Parker store on the second level. Looking toward the Spanish Steps, you can see the polycarbonate second facade and also the ceiling installation to better show the lighting in the space.
Thank you so much. East Los Angeles College will be presenting next, presented by Daniel Siva and Stephen Curtis.
If we were supposed to take a moment to say hello, this is East Los Angeles College. I got lost on the first one. So hello, Michael Hamner, East Los Angeles College. Great to be here. Aaron, great job. And here's Daniel Silva.
All right, so my project is called Black Beacon Spire, and it's located in East Los Angeles. It's meant to be a research center for the city of East Los Angeles to accommodate students who don't have the resources at home to continue their education outside of the classroom. For example, it provides like a fabrication building, dorms. So when exploring my opportunities on the site, I saw that there's an existing Pep Boys sign that exists on my site, which can be seen off the 60 freeway, which also acts as a beacon. And also on Atlantic Boulevard, there's also a Metro Gold Line, and right adjacent to it is the Metro parking station. So I wanted to tie in the three to into my design. So when looking at it at a macro level for the site, I saw that there's 4 converging cities coming together on my site, which is Monterey Park, Montebello, East Los Angeles, and Commerce. And to me, that converging point meant that this is a gateway hub for those cities, because then you have, and then so the way I wanted to connect my building was to the Metro Gold Line was to create a bridge across the street to the existing Metro parking lot as a way to tie into the Metro Gold Line on the left. Also, This is a fabrication building, and this is where the students would study. So the way I came up with that design was to take the vector lines from Atlantic Boulevard and Pomona Boulevard, and then create another vector line from my site to the parking lot, and then bring on the vectors onto my site, and then extend a bridge out to connect to the parking lot. Next, I used existing tree grids that are on the site. I didn't really want to touch the trees that exist on the site because I saw them as a potential buffer space between the sidewalk and my design proposal. So I used the tree grids to combine them with the vector lines to try to form my program out of that. Next, I use the vector lines, and the vector lines where they intersect, I use them to create negative space to create my program. But then when I brought down my vectors onto the site, with the point where the converging point for the gateway, I saw that as a potential way to lay out my beacon, which could be seen off the 60 freeway. For my beacon, I went with like a darker color because I wanted it to be able to see, you'll be able to see it from the 60 freeway. But also at nighttime, like I wanted it to be lit at night, so it's still a beacon at night. And this is an elevation taken off from Atlantic Boulevard, and this is another one. So this is the beacon to bridge connection to the parking lot. So this is a way to connect, to use the existing structure of the parking lot to create circulation from the street level that would use the existing stairwell from the parking lot and then bring them into the bridge that would go up to the beacon. And the bottom section is just.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephen Curtis. So Swavilion is a community center design project based in East Los Angeles. The project design is inspired by the cultural artistic tribal mask of the 3 most populated ethnicities within the area, representing not only East LA, but its connection and integration to Montebello as well as Monterey Park communities. So the site is located along the border of Monterey Park in East LA. I wanted to capitalize on the foot traffic that came from the Metro Gold Line along the intersection of Atlantic and Pomona Boulevard. I also wanted my overall shape to serve as a 360 view to capture the surrounding mountain views within the area while fitting to the form of my site. After developing the traffic and public transportation, I began to break down the chosen tribal mask from like Aztecs and Asian cultures to determine the elements such as the circulation, facade development, as well as overall spatial relationships. So the program is organized to express a public outdoor program toward the lower levels and private toward the upper levels. For example, level 1 provides a grand entrance greeted with open courtyard, cafe, fabrication shops. Level 2 quiets down program with classrooms and study rooms and offices, while level 3 provides private dorms. So my exterior circulation mimics the contours and patterns of the Aztec and Asian tribal mask, whereas my interior circulation is formed and developed on the double spiral staircase. So my northeast elevation, you can see how the second level extrudes. Southeast elevation. You'll notice the separation of programs of the left and the right wing connected by the exterior wooden deck space provided at the second level exterior courtyard. To better control the building's natural light intake, position the obsidian facade to wrap around the structure, sitting along a 180-degree panel to not only absorb, but position natural light within the interior space when necessary. So looking through the section, you'll notice how the hierarchy of program travels from the ground level to the roof. Another highlighting aspect is how the spiral stairs, which exist on both wings of the structure, are stared down by the atrium piercing through all 3 levels. So I wanted to use materials relating to the culture's tribal histories. I used travertine, which is a relatively bright stone, for the outer shell of the design, I used Frita glazing for the unique apertures that wrapped around the structure. I used obsidian for the facade panels and foliage along the courtyard space on the ground level. Natural lighting was important, was a huge part of the design, from the double atrium to the second level exterior openings. So my goal was to maximize natural light, and in pursuit of controlling its interior access, reduce the amount of carbon footprint from the building. For instance, in the summer, it's designed to bring in less heat possible, allowing for the building to stay cool, whereas in the winter, design allows for maximum sunlight penetration.
Thank you. Next up, we have Glendale Community College Architecture Program presented by Mania Minisavad. Sorry, I pronounced your name badly.
Hello everyone, my name is Mania Minasfand. Janus Moments Chamber is a senior housing project which embraces the symbolic meaning of the context and programs of the site and the building to contain the content of life and exhibit the function of life. The site is located in downtown Los Angeles at the intersection of West Pico Boulevard and Hope Street. The Dignity Health California Hospital is located at the southeast corner, less than half a city block away from the project location. The project site is located in the middle of the Los Angeles' evolving skyline from low-rise building to high-rise building. So the rising height of the building represents the milestone of time. The word Janus in my project title, Janus Moments Chamber, is taken from Roman mythology. Janus is an ancient Roman god who is the god of the beginning and the end, with two faces, one facing to the past and the other facing to the future. To the northeast of the site, we can see Los Angeles' downtown skyline, which represents the future. And to the southwest, we can see low-rise buildings that represents the past. So the rising height of the building represents the milestone of time and the present. This image is the party diagram of the chambers. The living units are forming a solid block and voiding a hole in the center to define the space of the time machines, which are the theater and the library. The yellow part on the right image is where the theater and the library are located. The moments are accumulation of the present time of seniors occupying the living units. The living units and corridors are facing each other, so they have to interact with people before they enter the unit. This encourages social interactions. The chamber consists of a theater and a library. The library is to unveil and recreate memories. The library is to preserve and storage the past. These chambers are the metaphor of a time machine for people to commemorate those moments. The library is the contents of life because each chapter of the page is each chapter of life. It is a place to access the wealth of history and information. It is to preserve the past, connecting people to unforgotten knowledge, but also encourage social interaction. The theater is a place to retrospect and unveil historical memories. It is a reflection of society, both present and the past. As you can see on the diagram, the theater is a solid block placed in the center of ramps and floors, which is the library. The main circulation ramps, as you can see in the center, are forming the void shape of the theater, and it is forming the solid shape of the library. There are emergency exit staircases, main stairs, elevators, and ramps on each floor. What do elderly people really want? An emotional scene performed by actor Roger Hauer in Blade Runner movie carry out his famous quote, all moments will be lost in time like tears in rain. This inspired me. The idea is not to cheat death, but rather to preserve, unveil, and commemorate all those moments. So these moments will not be forgotten. The curved glass facade of the library and the theater are to create and reproduce the moments and images of a person walking by to exhibit the function of life. The building has 2 underground parking levels, a total of 200 parking spaces, including accessible spaces. The ground floor contains drop-off areas, an entry lobby with elevators, and storefront retails. The next level is the common area floor, which contains the care center, fitness room, outdoor exercise area, event and game room, and outdoor sitting area. Also, the main entrance of the theater and the library is on this floor. There are a total of 53 living units. Each unit has its private balcony. 36 one-bedroom units are on the first, second, and third floor. Each floor has an entrance to the library. 16 two-bedroom units and 1 three-bedroom unit are on the 4th and 5th floors. There are also an elevator and ramps for each floor for them to reach different levels. Here is 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom unit floor plans also. Here is the longitudinal section cutting through 4th and 5th floor living units, also library and the theater. As you can see in the image, there are also ramps from underground parking floors up to the ground floor. The cross section is also showing living units, library and theater. The living units on each floor are on one side, so seniors can have the maximum view from both directions, north and the south. The corridors are in the center between living units, so they can have social interaction. The answer to the question, what do elderly people really want, is since they cannot cheat death and they cannot have more time, they want to leave a trace of their existence. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Next, we have Glendale Community College's Interior Department presented by Arpi, Edwin, and Sabrina.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sabrina Cisneros. The project I'm presenting today is for my interior design class. The house is currently under construction and is located in Granada Hills. The interior design integrates industrial and farmhouse design styles. My client's requirement was to create comfortable spaces within his home office, adding 3 bedrooms, each with their own bathrooms and a relaxing room. The first level floor plan is located on the right of your screen and the second level on the left. The moment you enter the house, we appear in the interior garden, which leads to the public spaces to the right and to the left, private spaces. On the right-hand side, we have the kitchen and dining room. When you enter the house, the first thing we see is the indoor garden. This open space garden serves as a relaxing room that incorporates natural elements into the house to create a botanical and cheering environment. The materials used here are natural wood, steel, concrete. This view is a Revit rendering seen from the second level of the house. Here you see a very practical kitchen. It's an L-shaped island kitchen with a nook area on the left and a breakfast zone. It has open shelves, visible, and no doors on the drawers. It assimilates commercial design kitchens for a big family that likes parties. Materials used are wicker wood, stainless steel on countertops, which makes the furniture durable and easy to use. The dining room has customized design chairs and a table, again using wicker wood for the tabletop, which illustrates farmhouse styles. The room is adjacent to the kitchen for easy access. The wicker wood material is sturdy and long-lasting. Chair materials used are leather and steel for design and durability. As you see from the floor plan bedroom, it has its own bathroom. The open concept makes the space practical to grab clothes. Since my client likes to travel, we decided to incorporate a big accent wall by using customized print wallpaper on the back as the major focus point of the bedroom to enhance the space.
Hi everyone, my name is RP and I'm studying interior design at Glendale Community College. Here's my project located on Granada Hills, and I call it diffusion because I try to create a mixture of two different styles and times, Persian and Parisian, traditional and contemporary. And you can see in the one side, you can see the fragments of Parisian art and art and, for example, design. And in the right side, you can see the Persian art and fragments and interior design. And I, for example, recognize the parallels between these two different styles, and I try to intersect them together in one vanishing point by diffusing them as single environment. And I put, for example, every public area in the first floor, I mean like library or the, for example, kitchen, and but the bedroom is in the other floor, in the second floor. But the, for example, great room, which is the main emphasized part, I just put 2 stairs lower than the rest. And this is the very great room. And it's not only served for gatherings, but also display the honors, for example, arts and art pieces and art collection as you wish. And I, for example, inspired by Persian style, I design arts niches and using colored windows to make the entire west wall a unique display area. And the other things is that is very inspired me is the reflection of the Persian stained glasses. So I designed a movable structure here, and it has 2 functions: visual separation and transitional element that creates that, for example, comfort and coziness in the house. And the kitchen, I start designing such, for example, a kind of traditional elements such moldings, mullions. And it, for example, reminds the old Parisian doors. And also it's really connected with the living room, with the waterfall, and to the piano room with the, for example, aquarium. And this is my dining room that it has, for example, separated with a buffet table, which has an under-counter wine cellar, and it displays the whole wall displayed the art of the French, I mean the contemporary arts. And there's, we have 2 sections, and you can see that in one section, the trunk section, we can have that, for example, traditional niches and walls and arts and moldings and emphasize that, for example, traditional things. And the other one is emphasize the modern elements, and the sculptures and the waterfall are facing each other symmetrically and helping to emphasize great room. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Edwin Avance, and this is my project for our interior design class at Glendale College. And it's a home design in Granada Hills that was inspired by Scandinavian design with a focus on the simple things in life, a feeling of coziness and contempt, and warmth and comfort. A pinch of Swedish, a dash of Danish, and a couple of Norwegians create a Nordic home in California. They may ask, what is hygge? It is the summation of Scandinavian lifestyle, which is quality of coziness and the feeling of a contempt or well-being. It was important to have this incorporated in the home, especially upon entrance of the home, so that it may create an open atmosphere. Beyond that, it was about creating separate public and private spaces that gave a warm and cozy feeling, but also open and inviting for guests in public spaces. As you can see in the floor plan, there's a separation of public and private spaces from the first to second floor. At the entrance, you'll walk into bright open spaces separated into 2 sections and also has views of the courtyard. Throughout the home, there's open spaces with lots of natural light entering the home on all sides that create warmth. Now in the living room, it's filled with natural light. and you will all see the Scandinavian design prominent in the room. Natural materials, simple furniture design with mute pastel colors on the sofa, such as pastel grays and whites with light blue fabric. Cherry wood furniture and concrete floor offer a contrast between the materials, as well as oak wood planks on the wall that create a welcoming rhythm and flow into the kitchen, as you can see. Now, the kitchen has a display island with space to entertain and has an L-shaped work area. Breakfast and serving zones that offer direct access to the courtyard and backyard. High ceilings and natural light on all sides create open space for all uses. Continuation of wood plank and wall from the living room and the use of natural materials keeps up with the feeling of Scandinavian design. Now in this room, although it seems like a small space, the usage of soft colors and natural materials brings a calm atmosphere that allows someone to get away so they may work, study, and relax. These are just some of the highlights of my project. However, this room is a focal point of what it was being achieved for my design. Thank you very much.
Aaron, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. Welcome, Los Angeles Harbor College, Aki, Roxana, Juan, Johnny, Heather, Nadoon, Lucy, and Julian. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron and Heather and Ingalil for inviting us again this year. In the beginning design class, students explore ordering principles such as rhythm, repetition, datum, symmetry, and balance in 2 dimensions on a square grid. Students choose a preferred 2-dimensional pattern and explore its design possibilities in 3 dimensions using similar design strategies. Students create models with sugar cubes, wood struts, or even Minecraft.
Hi, I'm Nadoon Silva. In this project, we created a 3D form from a 2D drawing. In this structure, there are different sized cubes interlocking with each other to create a diamond shape. And I used the game Minecraft to create my model.
Hi, my name is Saki. This project is a weekend retreat on a hillside. The forms are based on subtractive operations of carve, fracture, and twist, resulting in an internal courtyard. The design features subtle height differences that vary visitors' perceptions of horizontal and vertical space.
Hi, my name is Lucy Taylor. This was a study of subtractive forms in architecture. Using operative design strategies, we were to subtract and displace the volume of a solid box into a small 3-zone building that takes view, sun, and topography into account. This is a study of ordering principles such as repetition, balance, and rhythm. These are 2-dimensional studies to explore how the placement of walls, represented here by lines, create and define space. Each box is a floor plan with exactly 24 line segments and no closed shapes. I was drawn to the more asymmetric and corner-weighted designs. Here we described the design language used and invented a brief story for each. My stories were inspired by the first image association that came to mind, like an ink blot test.
Spaceship is the year 2050. A mysterious machine lands on Earth. Aliens have arrived. Still frog. The frog is still. It doesn't jump or make noise.
Warm energy rises and cold energy sinks. One must flow through the hallways to find your calling. Energy flow. The Latinx community is comprised of a vast set of colors and cultures. Soon we will all be one. Better yet, we are already one. La raza cósmica.
In this project, I utilize the X, Y, and Z coordinates to convert a series of two-dimensional figures into three-dimensional volumes that interact in a modular grid system. In addition to the figures, planes of the common axes are applied to amplify the organization of the grid.
In this case study of Craig L. Wood's house number 16, we examined structure, circulation, opening, closed spaces. We can see his use of long, thick linear structure walls in combination with large glass panels to define structural elements. The circulation from one part of the building to the next is defined by long passageways connecting the rooms or open and closed spaces. Elwood also uses repeating structural elements, which I incorporated.
This project is called Big Brother, Little Brother. It is a series of spatial constructs based on the ideas of Plummer and Swisher that explore the relationship between grids, modernism, and the digital life. The strategy of analogus was applied to create U-lines, figures, and fields in relation to grids, proportions, and intersections.
The Glassman Residence, my case study research assignment, was built by architect Richard E. Quinn in 1966. The home showcases its cross-shaped floor plan below. This diagram best describes the organization of its form through its structure, partie, and geometric elements.
Well, this is mine. In this case study, the architect Julian Nesky mainly focused on voids and keeping a simple circulation throughout his building while trying to capture the view of the amazing ocean. So I try to incorporate those ideas in my project as well. Trying to keep the similar structure and massing. So the site's best view faces east towards an open body of water. So I wanted the first floor to have a lot of open space to best bring in light. Once I knew where I wanted each room, all I needed to do was just punch holes in the appropriate places that best relate to the case study. And I'm just glad to have chosen this case study because I think it fits well with this project.
For my design, I decided to focus on semitonics, which identifies an object with a signifier, its physical existence, and its signified, its mental concept. Therefore, I decided this squiggle shape to represent rooms so I could have shifting floors, roof axis, and building gradients. This is the result of the museum. It is designed with 3 floors, 2 above ground, and a 1 subterranean gallery, as well as a subterranean parking lot. The subterranean gallery and parking lot to the left, and the 2 other floors to your right.
Thank you. Next up, we have Los Angeles Mission College presented by Haejun Young.
I'm Deborah Paulson. I'm also gonna present some of our students' work. Go ahead, Haejun.
Hi, this is a collage. I borrowed iconic object from Alice in Wonderland. And for the background, I parodied Edvard Munch's famous piece, The Scream. Also, I thought it would be interesting to invite Salvador Dali and Albert Einstein into this surreal world. I made this piece for my 2 sons. Here are 2 boys facing a big adventure, but what they feel is not fear or worry. Rather, it is an excitement because they have each other for support. So this is the message from Mom. Be the best friends for each other. For this piece, I used shiny translucent acrylic paint for the bottom layer, and then painted soft pastels on top of that. I borrowed the main character from the animation Ghost in the Shell to illustrate a girl who is under the control of stereotyped gender norm. In this piece, I wanted to express excitement of a new start. When I start a new thing, it often reminds me of a feeling when I travel to an exotic place. So I drew a woman looking at the sunrise on the train to describe the feeling of a new start. Here I drew a beautiful woman with blonde hair, which is considered ideal beauty for many women. But she's crying and tries to stay happy by taking a happy pill. Sometimes looking happy is the proof of a successful life. So many people may feel afraid to say, I'm not okay. This is the digital illustration. I created an image of a woman who likes to explore diverse thoughts and ideas. I used the contrasting color scheme, which are blue and red, and I put land and sky upside down on purpose. That's all. Thank you so much.
Here, Leticia Frias shows us a beautifully rendered man's face that captures his expression. Leaving his hat and shoulders unfinished gives us the feeling of contemporary art, as if we caught the artist in the act of making this piece. With an anatomical drawing of a heart, upon closer examination, we notice strawberry seeds on the surface as texture and highly detailed peacock feathers that act like a frame that present this surreal heart. Yuridia Pena presents us with a moment that can make us feel a sense of compassion as a homeless man trembles and cries beneath a colorful floral blanket. The words "stupid" are written on his forehead, and on the fence behind him, the words "update" are repeated over and over again. In this next piece, we are confronted with a large-eyed, clownish man pointing his finger towards another person whose face we cannot see, leaving us wondering about a scenario of accusations and blame. Jessica Torres shows us a strange planetary world that seems to tell a story of an alien farmer trying to escape robots in a melting world. In this piece, a spotlight glares into our eyes, and we see the silhouette of a ringmaster who is daring to take a balloon from an oversized clown with a grimace on his face. Sarah Corral creates undulating, colorful, opaque, and transparent organic shapes that seem to be pushing into each other. As we explore her paintings and the spaces, we feel that they can be flat and dimensional at the same time, representative and abstract all at the same time. Mercedes Tamayo shows us a gorgeous view of a mountainside landscape with details of jagged rocks and the atmospheric perspective of the distant mountain sky and clouds. In this piece, Tamayo collaging together contrasting imagery of flowers and lace against images of dark nature. We see a blood moon, a black widow spider, a theater mask, a satanic goat skull, while the word dead looms in the background. Daniel Ramirez illustrates a half-finished portrait of a young man. Half of his face is in shadow with expressive marks all around his head. The colors are dark and somber with transparent burnt orange and opaque black. In this piece, Ramirez illustrates a young girl looking downward. The realism, in contrast to the expressive marks, evoke deep emotion and a sense of nostalgia. Lastly, Jocelyn Ayala brings us a mythical and surreal world of a satyr and a floating head. One might wonder if it is a self-portrait. The layers and treatment of paint make this work feel like it could be a print. Another dreamlike world by Alaya, with a floating dreamlike head in mystical space with a walking figure and a tree. Thank you so much for letting us present this evening.
Wow. We'd like to now welcome Los Angeles Trade Tech, presented by Brittany, Matthew, Aaron, Lacey, Anna, and Kalia.
Good evening. My name is Brittany DeGuerra. I'm a student of the Architectural Technology program at Los Angeles Trade Technical College, and I'll be walking you through some of our work over the years. LATTC has been working in partnership with Eric Garcetti's Green New Deal initiative and Careers by Design Los Angeles in an effort to lead the future workforce of the AEC community. The Architectural Technology program is led by Professor Oliva, who has made efforts to rethink how we teach architecture, view the built environment, the importance of our connection to nature, and how we engage the community. The program boasts 100% transfer and placement rates. Our graduate students are knowledge workers, problem solvers, high-performance software users, doers, and developers. Our focus at LATTC is urban interventions. On the right, you can see the taxonomy of our efforts as we study and practice this phenomenon. Never starting from scratch and always building upon information, resources, and efforts gathered in previous semesters. As the program grows, so does our knowledge base, and in turn, our creative solutions and strategies. Our residential urban intervention focuses are tiny houses, accessory dwelling units, and multifamily residences. These modular templates make the inner workings of architecture approachable and accessible by making it easy to customize and build upon while keeping the projects within building codes and regulations. Our urban intervention designs focus on sustainable solutions, considering water, energy, wind, and recycling. Here we see various ADU designs with customizable modular orientations, solar path, wind path, and water recycling considerations. Here, we see how our tiny house templates can be easily customized, further promoting the tiny house ideology of environmentally conscious, self-sustainable, holistic, and simple living. Other urban intervention projects include conceptual designs for large open-air community spaces inspired by the Spin Campus plan, which uses digital manufacturing, cargo containers, and pre-manufactured materials. Professor Oliva believes green builders and developers should consider creating a center or network to develop and nurture green spaces as a strategy for sector success. This conceptual proposal, affectionately named The Corner, provides mobile trailers designed with a gorgeous common theme to provide services the community in the form of a mobile studio, counseling services, restroom, and shower facilities. Biomimicry is a very important principle at LATTC, and here we can see some of the design principles in the flooring, fencing, and other features. The conceptual design, The Flyby, is a drop-in center re-envisioned as gorgeous multi-purpose oasis. Mobile pop-up trailers can be used as counseling, food services, laundry, or even showers. Trailers are removed, the green space turns into a park with a large artistic awning at its center, inspired by the wings of a bird. This alley renovation proposal completely reinvents what an alley can look like with a bright and eye-catching design, but relaxed atmosphere, meant to break up the mundane and neglected nature of an alley. This proposal includes a makerspace teaching origami, as well as a space for providing science, technology, engineering, and mathematics tutoring. This innovative alley renovation proposal makes the most of the space available by transforming it into an archery range and field, promoting community engagement and outdoor activity. The vibrant and eye-catching design and murals add to the excitement of the activity and the transformation of the space. The obstacles allow archers to take cover, and strategize while they play. Here we see 3 conceptual designs for public stages the community can use to practice, perform, engage, and inspire. These designs are inspired by curves and shapes and geometries found in nature. These studies in biomimicry work to further strengthen our connection to nature and to one another. This proposal for an outdoor interactive museum and gallery space was inspired by Michelangelo's fortification of the city of Florence and curves and geometries found in the human body. This unique idea explores the boundaries for how humans interact with art and exhibitions by bringing them out to the people. These images illustrate just how unique and immersive this design really is. Next, we'll see a couple of examples of how shipping containers can be used as pop-up maker spaces, transforming open spaces like parking lots into temporary learning environments, markets, or outreach centers. This conceptual design offers colorful and vivid shapes surrounding a roof deck and an awning. In this pop-up trailer, we see an open and welcoming design with a strong biomimetic influence, such as the flower of life and the Fibonacci sequence. Along with the vibrant colors and eye-popping design, this concept is not only quick, efficient, and useful, it's quite gorgeous. LATTC also works in landscaping and hardscaping projects. Here we see construction documents for the gorgeous and innovative design displayed. Details on materials and methods of design are seen here in this proposal for an existing home. The LA Trade Tech team won the first ever junk battle competition sponsored by the community engagement nonprofit Pando Populous. The hummingbird chair design displayed here won against designs brought forth by UCLA, USC, the Art Center College of Design, and the California Institute of the Arts. LATTC's Community and Professional Advisory Group, Encounter LA, facilitated the South LA Neighborhood Council's request for a proposal for a Black Panther memorial. The South LA Neighborhood Council is currently raising funds for the construction and placement of this striking, powerful, and poignant design we see here. Our urban interventions have even reached civil heights, including a proposal for a nature bridge that connects outdoor spaces in a beautiful, elegant, and creative way, reinventing what pedestrians have access to and how they have access to it. This design promotes mobility in green spaces in communities that may have not previously had access to one another or green spaces. LATTC, along with the Pico Union Housing Corporation and the Puede Center, have worked together to create proposals for the community to transform alleys using green alley renovation strategies, such as vertical trellises, facilitating quick, efficient, and vibrant changes to the most neglected areas of our neighborhoods. We hope you've enjoyed the efforts LATTC is making to build a better world.
Wonderful. Next is Palomar College faculty Joseph Lucido and Jessica Newman will be presenting.
Thank you, Erin, and thanks for Woodbury for hosting this amazing event. My name is Joseph Lucido. I'm the architectural lead at Palomar College, and my colleague Jessica Newman, the lead at interior design.
Hi there. In the spirit of collaboration, we brought together an architecture class and an interior design class to work together on a team project. This project was a new building on Palomar's campus to house the architecture and interior design departments. Today, we're showing a project solution from one team, Natalia Olivera from the architecture department and Michelle Yip from the ID department.
Yes, each semester we try to come up with an exciting and dynamic project for our students to dive into. In Studio 217, we study site connectivity, code, and in this case, the collaborative nature of our industries. We were fortunate that Palomar had a vacant lot that the students could study and create their own learning environment. Here you can see the student went out and photographed the materials on campus and selected a few that she wanted to explore. Bamboo siding, polished concrete, and aluminum cladding. The contrast between these materials created a dynamic elevation, one that blends into the campus seamlessly. This bold selection of aluminum panels coupled with horizontal banding help accentuate the cantilever. Here we can see the material is solidly present on the ground plane. This helped to express the building's mass. She created voids that would help define the entry and assist with wayfinding. Here, the student explores bamboo siding with a vertical application. Once again, it can be found on campus, with this exploration is unique and dynamic. Stairs become a key feature leading pedestrians to the upper floors. Here we can see the cantilever floating above a terrace, inviting students upwards and into the building. Three-dimensional modeling allowed the students to study the vertical circulation and the interior design department's programmatic requirements. This proved to be a key element to allow both students to communicate their design intent. The building you saw may have been developed by an architectural student, but it was certainly informed by her interior design colleague.
On the first floor, we have 2 large classrooms, 3 faculty offices, restrooms with showers, student lockers, print services, a makerspace, and a large atrium. The atrium acts as an entry lobby, a lounge space for students, and an interior landmark for wayfinding. The makerspace, print services, and elevators are located far from the classrooms due to noise. Here we see an interior view of the atrium. There are digital displays to post information about the programs, such as class schedules, announcements, and guest speakers, as well as showcase exceptional student work. The designers also envisioned that students would design and hang a badge on the tree as an interactive and constantly changing piece of artwork. In order to justify this 3-story structure, the students envisioned the second floor as a student services space. This floor really takes advantage of the beautiful weather here in San Diego, with an outdoor classroom and an open multi-purpose space that can be used for larger groups like guest speakers. There's also a library, study rooms, and a kitchenette. Palomar campus is accredited as a level 2 arboretum. It is the only community college in California with that distinction. Throughout the campus, we have ADA compliant nature trails, outdoor sculptures, and primitive plant collections. The students continued this focus on foliage by incorporating greenery, a connection to nature, and views of the landscaping throughout the interior of the building. This outdoor classroom helps to reduce student sickness caused by indoor air circulation. The framed greens offer shade and help to screen ultraviolet light. Additionally, the green trellis design helps block visual distractions while still allowing students to enjoy the fresh air. This is a building that prioritizes the safety of its occupants. There are 4 exits, including an extra emergency stair from the second floor to the ground. All of the corridors are 7 to 11 feet wide, allowing for plenty of air circulation. These wide corridors also allow for spontaneous interactions between students. You can stop someone and have a conversation without blocking the flow of traffic. Enhancing a sense of community is a theme of this building. The designers feel that the form of the building looks like 2 people hugging each other, which is symbolic of the joint effort of architects and interior designers working together. This project was actually not a smooth journey from start to finish. These 2 talented designers had different aesthetic sensibilities, and they redesigned over and over until they came to this solution. On the 3rd and final floor, we have 2 more classrooms, 2 conference rooms, and a materials library. On both the 1st and 3rd floors, the elevators open on both sides to enhance circulation. Skylights are used throughout the 3rd floor to take advantage of the natural light and to reduce energy usage on lighting. We asked students to reflect on their own experiences in the classroom and how they could be improved through design. The students responded with a more flexible arrangement. Yin-yang tables that are reconfigurable to fit different class needs and that fit into each other like the 2 exterior building masses. Next, we can see one of the main compromises reached by the designers. The architect wanted a brutalist structure of solid concrete blocks, while the interior designer wanted large windows for the enjoyment of the people inside. They compromised on narrow rectilinear openings behind the wood cladding, which allow light to come in without breaking the solidarity of the building concept. The project's concept was to build connections between students in both departments. As I always tell my students, your classmates today are your colleagues tomorrow. College is not the end of your educational journey, but rather the beginning of your career. I truly believe students gain just as much knowledge and value from each other as they do from us, and this project perfectly encapsulates those ideas.
The Career and Technical Education program at Palomar College strives to create a learning environment that replicates the real world, preparing the students for both the educational component as well as the soft skills needed to succeed. Projects like these allow the students to experience the demands and the rigors of industry. Collaboration is the foundation of great design. And with a solid foundation, we can reach greater heights together. Thank you for allowing us to showing off our amazing students' work and our design philosophies in teaching. Again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, from Pasadena City College, Jason Baird will be sharing some of his interior architecture. Just kidding, this is the architecture segment. I apologize, Jason. Selena Gottlober, welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Selena Gottlober. I'm an international student from Germany, currently in my second year of studying architecture, and I'm happy to be here today to introduce you a student-centered program of architecture at Pasadena City College. We are a diverse group of students and faculty who are emphasizing on supporting different backgrounds. We offer a tailored program for students' individual career goals and offer different pathways to higher education and joining the workforce. Given these different goals of our students, we have several pathways for them to offer. One of them is a pathway to transfer to a different school. And we also develop technical skills for employment, and we embed professional values and ethics in all our courses. Our 2-year architecture program offers a wide range of courses in design, technology, and general education. The program is led by just 8 faculty members, whereas 1 is working full-time and the 7 other members are adjunct. These 8 faculty members are guiding 20 to 25 students every year to graduate with an associate's degree in architecture. In response to the last year's COVID-19 outbreak, our transition from in-person to online classes was very quick. And even though not everything went perfectly from day one, the support and understanding between the students, as well as faculty and students, fostered our Pasadena City College community. The foundation of our architecture education at Pasadena City College consists of 3 strong pillars. These 3 areas are research, design, and technology. These areas are dependent on each other and working together to create versatile design skills. During the first semester, students get introduced to experience a full scope of architectural design projects. The projects move from very simple at the beginning to more complex later on. Students work with precedence, scale, and transformation, and their work involves drawings, model making, digital modeling, and rendering. During the second semester of the first year, they work on projects which deal with urban context, the housing crisis, and historical narratives. The projects are addressing multiple scales and introduce students to an architect's responsibility, as well as the importance of demographics and gentrification and context to the project. It is further addressing challenges of the housing environment, negotiating shared spaces and private spaces. The task was here to create co-living in times of a pandemic. Determining shared living in exterior and interior spaces, the project had to solve environmental conditions like light and their effect on the interior. With a focus on the user experience, we created quality spaces responding to environmental factors. We respected the privacy of the tenants and took into account new COVID-19 guidelines, while keeping in mind the interdependence of the spaces. Our second big area of education is technology. Our approach here is using analog and digital at the same time. We teach a wide range of skills, including model making, with an emphasis of materiality, its properties, handling, and scales. We use digital technology and development for software, workflow, and document production, while we also lay a strong foundation in digital design and visual communication. We introduce the students to programs like AutoCAD, Rhino, and Lumion. We are actively engaging in emerging technologies as well. While teaching Rhino during the second semester, students get introduced into Grasshopper and first coding techniques to start their digital fabrications. They also get first insights into the world of parametric design. After talking about abstract and new technologies, I want to circle back now to something more traditional. One specific course explores materials and methods, especially the relationships between materials and methods of construction, together with the understanding of spaces and human experience. The project involves team research, design, and fabrication. From the very early exploration of small-scale models to the production of life-size prototypes, the project includes a full scale of work for the students, from designing all the way to building it. And it's especially emphasizing on teamwork. The last aspect of the technology education at PCC is a class that develops professional skills by producing a full drawing set in Revit. This serves as a preparation for the office environment where graduates will have to manage workflow. We are further developing this part of the program to support students who want to head straight into the industry. During the second year of education, students strengthen their conceptual design skills. The projects are taking on more complex challenges, such as site and program constraints. They are process-driven by research and analysis. They include a response to community and are addressing comprehensive building systems. Another important aspect of the projects is integration. Integrating environment, context, and program into the design process, but also within the design development, focusing on integrating interior and exterior public space, integrating building into the landscape, and integrating individual needs and community in the times of COVID. During the last semester of the studio, the projects combine everything we have learned so far. Students are developing individual attitudes and response to design challenges and bring together research, analysis, environment, conceptual, and schematic design. The class further teaches us responsibilities as architects and sensibility to our context. Lastly, I want to thank you for letting us participate in this great format and sharing a bit about us.
Now, welcome Jason Baird from Pasadena City College Interiors Program.
Thank you, Erin. Hi, everyone. I'm Jason Baird, and I'm here representing my class in our third semester of interior design, Art 41C at Pasadena City College. The project is called Future Library, and it focuses on social study, justice, and hybrid programming to invigorate this critical civic paradigm. Interior design student Ellen Matthews focuses on civic performance art and the accessibility to the arts in designing her future library called the La Brea Black Box Library Theater, image of Red Balloon by future present performance artist. Accessibility to the arts. La Brea Black Box Library Theater first floor plan. A black box insertion into the classic library program. Inspiration image, Larry Bell, smoke on the bottom. Transparency, translucency, layering, insertion, color, light, and interior and exterior elevations. Inspiration image, Larry Bell, Venice, Fog. Interior design student Morgan Lee focuses on knowledge equality and access to literature in designing her future library called the Emerging Public Library. Today, even in America that increasingly shuns all things public, people still love and need a good public library. Knowledge equality, playful lines, child development driven, Memphis color and patterns, organic interactions, the Emerging Public Library first floor plan. Access to literature, playful interactions inspire children, children's access to literacy and growth, interactive play roof, the Emerging Public Libraries, Section A. Interior design student Alex Salas focuses on art for all and educational resources for all in designing his future library called the La Brea Arts Library, image of boy with Alexander Calder sculpture by Dimitri B. Art for all, building is developed as a sequence of space for art. Volumetric changes, the building opens and closes, a path for public art expression. The La Brea Arts Library, Section A. Educational resources for all, the enlightenment from books and art for the person coming through it, the knowledge of art, a layering of volume and shape, the La Brea Arts Library, Section B. Interior design student Mia Jordan focuses on community for all and environmental awareness in designing her future library called The Living Lab, environmental activism. Greta Thunberg delivers remark in front of the White House on September 13th, 2019. Community for all. Street scene and festival are the heart of this public space. The street and the building square are the heart of this library. Neighborly interactions, borderless. The Living Lab Library, longitudinal section. Environmental awareness, building rehabilitation versus tear down, light and nature insertion, the Living Lab Library, latitudinal section. And lastly, my design, interior design student Jason Barrett focuses on healthcare rights, designing for future pandemics, green space rights, and design for all for the future library project called the Neue Modern Library. Safety gear provides maximum protection. Designing future pandemics. Glass protects and screens. Transparency throughout reveals the building's flow and expressing the functions of the building while allowing separation. The Neue Modern Library, first floor plan. Access to green space. Sunlight and nature have a healing effect. Exposure to natural light and nature, and bringing the outdoors inside. Inspiration image, the Hiroshi Senju Museum in Japan. Green space for all, air and environment, circulation, billowing, movement, accessibility, openness, and light, the Neue Modern Library, third floor plan. Through waves of light and shadow, sun and clouds, The areas move through the filtered light. Darkness fall with Aurora Borealis' lights. The Neue Modern Library longitudinal section. And design for all, motion, texture, scale, and calmness. The Neue Modern Library front elevations. An excerpt from The Hill We Climb by Amanda Gorman. Let the globe, if nothing else, say this is true, that even as we grieved, we grew, that even as we hurt, we hoped, that even as we tired, we tried, but we'll forever be tied together, victorious, not because we will never again know defeat, but because we will never again sow division. Thank you so much.
Now we'd like to welcome Santa Monica College, presented by Sheila Cordova, Javier Cambron, Tina Reitz, Aaron Andero, Matt Brown, and Leslie Dyke.
Thank you, Erin. Hi, I'm Sheila Cordova. I'm the architecture lead and a professor in the interior architectural design program at Santa Monica. We'll be hearing from a few of our amazing students in Studio 2 and 4. But first, we're going to start with Studio 1. We just started an architecture program this last semester, and this is some work from our first architecture studio. It's a common studio for both the architecture and the interior design program. We explore materials and process through the lens of empathy and design thinking. So the students explore properties of different materials, a variety of construction techniques while finding inspiration and developing a conceptual process to get to a three-dimensional design. We encourage individual experimentation. I love seeing unexpected discoveries during the construction. And we encourage innovation for an expressive and dynamic studio experience. The students really enjoyed all the play that they did at home. So sustainability is integrated throughout the program. In this project, you see design through biomimicry. Students are currently working on adaptations for spaces in the post-COVID world right now. We're all wondering how design is going to be affected by the pandemic. We just started architecture, so the next studio work is from our talented interior architectural design students.
Hi, I'm Tina Reitz. I'm a first-year student at Santa Monica College. And this project is based on an ADU need by a family named the Noblus. They travel quite often and they only find themselves in Malibu about half the year. And so they decided they wanted to put an ADU on their Malibu property. And so one of the keys was that we were working with only 1,200 square feet. And so the solutions that we needed to find is how to bring natural light into the space, how to make sure that every space in the actual ADU has a view of the ocean. And one of the key features was the idea of enlarging the living space itself. So seen here is the outdoor patio. So the walls actually extend past the ADU. So this is not technically permitted space. And so there's an outdoor dining space, an outdoor living room with a double-sided fireplace, a private patio for the left wing, which is the private bedroom quarters. And then the right wing is the office space because they'll be working from home during COVID. And then this is a glimpse into the bathroom in the private space with an upright bathtub with a full glass window that cantilevers over the cliffs. So they feel like they're actually submerged in the landscape and can see the ocean. And then this is a view of their bedroom with its private patio and fireplace. Yeah, that went very fast.
Hi guys, my name is Aaron Andero, and this project I'm presenting to you is a group project that I made with my classmate Angela Martel. We were given the assignment by our professor to draw and design a new building for the organization, a place called Home. It's a community center in Los Angeles that creates a safe space for young people in the community. We designed this 12,000 square foot building like a square with a central garden in the middle, where members can learn everything about the importance of farm to table cooking. And we wanted our design to be smart and playful with a good floor plan and a building that is easy to navigate in. With classrooms, an art studio, a computer lab, a kitchen, a cafeteria, a library, as well as a space for film and music recording. All of this, but also creating spaces for the kids to just hang out and have a good time with their friends. Yeah, so basically I did the second floor, and Angela did the first floor. And this is the student lounge you can see there, and there is the library. That's it.
Hey everyone, my name is Matt. I designed the LGBTQ Cultural Center in Los Angeles, which represents my vision of a space that celebrates the advancement of a community long repressed. The goal is to encourage positivity and with forward-looking surroundings. Here at the main entrance, the glass beams of the facade seem to sort of peel away, leading you into the lobby below ground. While appearing modern, the hidden door gives the visitor sort of like a taste of the past when having to enter spaces secretly was pretty common. In this slide, I showcase the underground lobby, which I was just talking about, and reception, which features a multitude of custom fixtures, furnishing, finishes, as well as like a section for upcoming artists. And this is a open air memorial I designed to commemorate those lost to AIDS. I wanted to encourage the viewer to stop and sort of reflect on the beauty of life, and then the harsh reality of death. And here, this is the top floor where the main exhibit sort of ends, and the visitor enters a space that is both calming and welcoming and allows you to relax and dine or have a cocktail or whatever, and reflect and sort of celebrate with friends.
Hello, my name is Leslie Decay, and for my project, I designed the Igbo Cultural Center. So I chose this culture because my dad is from Nigeria, and I wanted to show more about Nigeria and learn more about the culture. So that's what I did for this project. So with the design, I wanted to highlight the natural landscape, since Igbo land, which is what it's often referred to, is located in the Nigeria's tropical rainforest. And I also wanted to use the Yuli art style, which is a mix of various symbols to have different meanings. And so I incorporated mostly the kola nut symbol, which means welcome, which is that diamond shape. So throughout the design, I wanted to use a lot of textures and patterns, not just to represent the Yuli symbols, but also the fabric that they used to make their traditional clothes incorporates a lot of patterns, textures, and mix of materials. So that's what I did, mostly in that cooking demonstration area. And for the greenhouse, I wanted to highlight the different aspects of the natural environment, the built environment, and art. So for the floor, I used red polished terracotta tile to represent the red soil that's seen out there, and the bronze is mostly used for like metal artwork. And yeah.
Thank you. Next we have Southwestern College, presented by Adriana, Irina, Justin, Angelica, Yasmin, Daniela, Anissa, Jose, and Juan.
Hello everyone, my name is Adriana Lucero and I'm a student of architecture program in Southwestern College. This project was designed to allow architecture students to design solutions to the student housing insecurity on our campus, allowing us to see the different improvements tiny homes can make in our daily lives. Scala House is inspired by the minimum. This tiny house is designed for 2 persons. The idea behind Scala House is to compromise individuals to reduce and be eco-friendly without giving up the amenities of a regular house. The house includes a kitchenette, wet bath, living and dining room, and two.
Hi, my name is Ina Banawe. Tiny house is inspired from terraces in the mountains of Banawe, Ifugao in the Philippines. I chose this style because I believe that humanity is the core purpose of designing and architecture. Architecture has the power to inspire, transform, and communicate to people. So I thought of how will I design a tiny house that is going to be life-changing to a lot of people, how to excite, inspire, and reach to them. The client is a homeless student. We spend 87% of our lives inside of houses and buildings, and I want to make that student feel inspired every day. Design is a tool to enhance our humanity. That is why I specifically chose these terraces, because it is a symbol of survival and identity to the people in the Philippines, which reflects that the tiny house will symbolize resiliency.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin Boro, and the name of my tiny home is Tiny Module A, which was designed to reflect the refined, minimalistic, and open style of architecture that is appearing to manifest itself more and more in the design world we live in today. This tiny home was designed to fit everything that is needed, no matter the situation, for any student that unfortunately may be struggling with housing insecurities. Inspired by the Casita tiny home and the facade of multiple Apple stores, Tiny Module A represents the strength and beauty of simplicity with its essence.
Hi, I'm Angelica with the Hive 20 tiny house I designed. This tiny house was designed to be an energy-efficient home for 2 students at Southwestern College. It consists of all the comforts of a regular home, such as a living room, a kitchen, and a full bathroom. There are also 2 bedrooms on opposite sides of the home for each student. The exterior of the home is a combination of corrugated steel and wood, giving this home a simple and modern look. On this board, I'm able to illustrate a few different components that were used to develop my design. I share a bubble diagram, a program matrix, floor plans, elevations, and some of the energy efficient components, as well as some of the furnishings I used for functionality and comfort. The Hive 20 is intended to fit the basic needs every student needs to thrive. Thank you for your time.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jasmine, and my tiny house is accommodated for 2 students. And I chose to create it in a Gothic style. So I have 3 large stained glass windows on one side and a bay seating area on the other side, which also is also used for a sleeping area. And on this board, you can see that I have images of where I gained inspiration for this style and how to accommodate all the necessities that we needed to include for the 2 students to live in this tiny house.
Hello, my name is Daniela, and I'm a first-year architecture student. Pacific Everblue is a tiny house designed to accommodate 2 students. There are 2 separate sleeping lofts, a small kitchen, and a bathroom in the 8x16 space. The idea behind the teal exterior was to transmit the calming properties the shade evokes to the residents, a feeling elevated by the greenery in the plant boxes and the vertical garden. The tiny house includes features meant to cut down the residents' carbon footprint, such as solar panels and a composting toilet. A kitchen composting pile was also included to help reduce landfill waste and lower the amount of methane gas that is being released into the atmosphere.
Hi, I'm Anaisa Vasquez. I designed the duo for college students, primarily focusing on students living on their own for the first time and having to live with a stranger. To promote a sense of privacy, I used a gooseneck trailer to establish elevation changes, making it feel like each occupant has a side of the home to themselves. For construction, the walls are structurally insulated panels and the exterior pine wood siding is made of engineered wood. These 2 components help reduce the overall weight of the trailer. To promote green living, 4 solar panels are attached to the roof, feeding its collected energy to stackable saltwater batteries. A gray water system is installed to use the recycled sink water for gardening. Lastly, to help keep the home cool, double glazed thermally broken windows are installed. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jose Carlos Vasquez and this is the student house. It is a tiny house mainly designed for college students, which features all the necessities that any student may require. It has a washer and dryer stack, a breakfast bar, it has a kitchen. On this slide, we can see the materials that were used for this project. We have a bubble diagram, programmatrix, the main and loft floor plan, which gives us a better view of how is the distribution of the tiny house from the interior, and the elevations give.
Good afternoon, I am Sofia Bravo, and my design La Casita is meant to fit the basic needs of all students and encourage them to make it their own space to hang out, work, and rest. The Bay Area style window is there to allow natural light into the space and create a visual focus point that also adds variety to the The distribution of this tiny house has the kitchen as the center, and everything flows from there, meaning it is connected to every area of the house with an access point to them. The appliances are meant to save space and use.
Hi, my name is Juan Guerrero, and I will be sharing my project, A Sustainable Tiny House, created with a concept to satisfy all contemporary student needs. El Modular has exterior dimension of 8 by 16 feet and an interior of 132 square feet. This model allows the possibility of free sleep. Furthermore, this is a clean and functional design with fast and flexible one-day assembly. Some additional aspects include being energy efficient, solar powered, made from natural, non-toxic materials, no foundational needed, and minimalistic design. Thank you.
And last but not least, Bakersfield College will be joining us, and it will be presented by Pedro and Marina.
Hi, thank you. I am the full-time faculty for Bakersfield College. My name is Lydia Torres, and I do have 2 students who are going to be joining us. Pedro, you're on.
Yes. Hi, my name is Pedro Aguilar, and I'm representing Bakersfield College. The name of this project is Hotel Isha. In this project, I wanted to look for a soulful trend with inspiring destinations across hospitality, making the building feel embraced by these glass waves. Oops, too fast, okay. So this is a different project. This is the lobby of a hotel. It represents a Renaissance trend because the hotel is located in France. And one of the key features of this part of the hotel is its floor, made of granite and marble with bright colors to make it stand out from the ceiling and walls. And we can see in this view that it's possible to play with the lighting, creating a vertical symmetry between the pattern and the shapes that the floor shows, and the reflection of light created in the ceiling. Likewise, linear details are highlighted on the walls. We added some paintings. In this view, we can see how the 2 entrances are parallel in the same way that the center of the lobby is parallel to the reception. We can see how the colors and shapes used in this design transmit peace and tranquility to those who are in this area. Totally peaceful atmosphere, which was the main idea of this project. This is the dining area of a hotel. The main concept is to transmit to people the feeling of being in the forest. We can see how the...
Are you there, Pedro?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Now, yeah.
We can see how the minimalist details are combined. And in the exterior of the building, we extend the roof to the surface. The objective was to transmit the feeling that the building is hiding in the forest. That was the main concept of this project.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mariana Aldaco, and I'm here representing Bakersfield College Architecture Program and the amazing staff. What I created here is an open concept kitchen and living area on this beautiful 27 square foot home, overseeing the beautiful mountain view created with topo surface. From this view, we can see towards the dining area where I created a half a hexagon design for where the dining table would go. I added a great kitchen island. Then I placed the stovetop and the hood range coming down all the way from this 12-foot ceiling. Here I added a coffee bar with the glass cabinet doors just to have that much more space to decorate and personalize your area. Right next to the coffee bar, I did place a wine fridge because, I mean, why not, right? And of course, I had to add a pantry for that extra storage that we all need. I'm so sorry. On this side, we did focus more on the opposite side, and I did add under cabinet LED lighting and also a barn light or gooseneck light, like we all, a lot of us call it, on top of the kitchen sink. In this rendering, you can see how open and inviting this kitchen really is. You can also see the size of this huge island I created with the wall tool. For the trim around the island, I did use the sweep tool. The sweep tool was also used for the kitchen cabinets, crown molding, and as well as the wall base trim. On this slide, we can see the countertops a little closer. They were created with a floor tool and brought up to the desired height. By adding the half hexagon design in the dining area, it just gives us that much more beautiful view of the mountains. And then I did add the retaining wall to give us that privacy and of course security from the landslides, especially in the rainy season.
Hi, this is a project that shows rhythm and repetition. The name of the project is Acme Run, and the functionality of this project is a pedestrian bridge. The white shapes around are existing buildings. Over here we can see the floor plan of the bridge with the front elevation. We can see how green architecture is being applied, and we try to play with the project design without losing its functionality. Well, this is the site plan showing the location of the project. We can see to start, that's the location of the project, and the bridge will be located at California State University of Bakersfield, connecting two buildings, the Science 1 and Science 3 building. So this is the floor plan of the project. We can see the dimensions. It is a very extensive bridge. One of the main purposes of this bridge is also to illuminate the areas of the university, as lights will be placed on the underside of the bridge to give more functionality to the project. So the bridge is connected to the university science buildings. We have 14 feet of clearance for vehicle circulation. The interior of the bridge has a height of 10 feet for the circulation and interaction of the pedestrians. So we can see in the elevation A and B. These are the sections. We can see the social interaction between the students. In the same way, we can see the functionality that the bridge has. We can see the circulation of the vehicles, pedestrians, and the space is very adaptable. These are some renderings. We have the material of the bridge. As I mentioned before, we wanted to use green architecture and add that combination of minimalism with sustainable architecture to create something different for the university. And in the last slide, we can see another of the purposes of the bridge, which was to illuminate the area of the establishment, which helps to create a safe environment and also break the monotony of linear structures. And those are the results of our renderings. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
That is the conclusion of our amazing platform tonight. Thank you all for all the work that you put in to make this possible. And thank you to the faculty and students and administrators for all the work that you do to make this happen on a regular basis. And I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. One of my colleagues joked that Pecha Kucha, it doesn't stand for chit chat, it stands for technical difficulties. Even when we couldn't hear you, the work spoke for itself. So thank you so much for everyone who has come tonight and joined us.